Thank you for purchasing our product. We're sure you'll be glad you chose our machine, and it will bring you much enjoyment in the fantastic world of sewing craft and quilting. Basic operation. Connecting the power supply. This machine is equipped with a two-way speed control for sewing. You can use either the foot control or the start-stop button to operate the machine. Before connecting the machine to the power supply, make sure that the power is switched off. If you wish to use the foot control, insert the pin connector into the jack on the machine. Connect the power supply cord by inserting the machine plug into the machine and the power supply plug into the power outlet. Machine operating buttons. The machine operating buttons are conveniently grouped together for easy access while sewing. Start-stop button. Press the Start-stop button to start or to stop the machine. Please note that the Start-stop button will not work when the foot control is connected. The machine will run slowly while this button is pressed, and will start running at the speed set by the speed control slider when the button is released. Pressing this button again while the machine is running will slow down the machine, and it will stop when the button is released. This function is extremely useful when precise control of stitching is necessary. Reverse button. The machine will sew in reverse while the reverse button is being pressed when straight stitches and zigzag stitches are being sewn. To secure the beginning of a seam, press and hold this button so that the machine will sew in reverse at the slowest speed. When other patterns are selected, pressing the reverse button causes the machine to lock the stitch in place and stop automatically. Auto lock button. The machine immediately locks the stitch and will stop automatically if the auto lock button is pressed when straight stitches and zigzag stitches have been selected. When other patterns are selected, the machine will sew to the end of the pattern being sewn, then lock the stitch and stop automatically. Needle up-down button. Press the needle up-down button to bring the needle to the up or down position. Thread cutter button. Press this button to trim the threads after sewing. You can sew the next stitch without pulling the bobbin thread up. If you use thick thread or the twin needle, use the thread cutter on the face cover. Speed control slider. The speed control slider sets the maximum sewing speed. To decrease the speed, shift the slider to the left. Shift to the right to increase the speed. Winding the bobbin. Extra spool pin. Use the extra spool pin when you need to wind the bobbin without unthreading the machine. Insert the extra spool pin into the hole. Place a spool of thread on it and secure the spool with the spool holder. Winding the bobbin. Turn the power switch off. Slide the hook cover release button to the right and remove the hook cover. Take out the bobbin. Turn the power switch on. Set the spool of thread on the spool pin like this. Secure it with the spool holder. Hold the thread with both hands and pass the thread around the thread guide. Pass the thread through the hole in the bobbin from inside. Put the bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle. Push the bobbin winder spindle to the right. Set the speed control slider to the fastest position. With the free end of the thread held in your hand, start the machine. Stop the machine when the bobbin has wound several layers, and cut the thread close to the hole in the bobbin. Start the machine again. Stop the machine when the bobbin is fully wound and stop spinning. Return the bobbin winder spindle to the left. Remove the bobbin. Cut the thread. Inserting the bobbin. Turn the power switch off. Place the bobbin in the bobbin holder with the thread running off counterclockwise. Hold the bobbin with your fingertip so it does not rotate. Guide the thread into the front notch of the bobbin holder. Pass the thread under the guide and pull it to the left. Pass the thread into the guide paths marked 1 and 2. Pull the thread to the right through the slit. The thread will be cut to a suitable length and held in place. Attach the hook cover plate. Threading the machine. Turn the power switch on. Raise the needle by pressing the needle up-down button. Turn the power switch off. Hold the thread with both hands and pass the thread around the thread guide. Still holding the thread with your hands, draw the thread towards you along the channel. Pull it down along the right channel. Pull the thread up around the guide plate and along the left channel. Slip the thread into the eye of the take-up lever and pull it down along the left channel. Pass the thread through the lower thread guide from the right to the left. Slide the thread behind the needle bar thread guide. Needle threader. Lower the presser foot. Push the threader knob down slowly as far as it will go. The hook comes out through the needle eye and the threader is held in the down position. Pull the thread down under the left thread guide and then pass it from left to right under the hook. Draw the thread around the right thread guide towards you. Raise the knob slowly and a loop of the thread is pulled up through the needle eye. Pull the end of the thread through the needle eye to the rear. You need to draw up the bobbin thread when sewing gathering stitches, etc. To draw up the bobbin thread, see the instruction manual. Raising and lowering the presser foot. The presser foot lifter raises and lowers the presser foot. You can raise the presser foot higher than the normal up position. This helps you to change the needle plate or place thick fabrics under the foot. Replacing the presser foot. Raise the needle by pressing the needle up-down button. Turn the power switch off. Raise the presser foot. Press the lever on the back of the foot holder and the presser foot will drop off. Place the desired foot under the foot holder so the pin on the foot lies just under the groove on the foot holder. Lower the presser foot lifter to lock the foot in place. Adjusting the foot pressure. Foot pressure can be adjusted by turning the presser foot pressure dial. Set the pressure between 3 and 6 for ordinary fabrics. Set the pressure between 1 and 3 for fine fabrics and applique sewing. Set the pressure between 5 and 6 for heavyweight fabrics. Thread tension. Set the tension control dial to 4 for general sewing. However, you may need to adjust the tension manually depending on sewing conditions, such as the type of fabric and number of layers. Turn the dial to a higher number to increase the tension. To decrease the tension, turn it to a lower number. Dropping the feed dog. The feed dog can be lowered with the drop feed lever located on the back of the free arm. Shift the lever to the right to drop the feed dog. Shift the lever to the left to raise the feed dog, and it will return to the up position when turning the hand wheel. Practical sewing. Selecting stitch patterns, A. There are 2 ways to select a stitch pattern. One is to use the direct pattern selection keys. You can select frequently used stitch patterns by pressing the corresponding direct pattern selection key. The LCD display will show the pattern number, recommended foot, preset stitch width, and length. The other way to select a stitch pattern is to use the mode key and arrow keys. To select the desired stitch pattern, press the mode key to select the desired mode, and then press the arrow keys. Selecting stitch patterns, B. There are 2 ways to select a stitch pattern. One is to use the direct pattern selection keys. You can select frequently used stitch patterns by pressing the corresponding direct pattern selection key. The other way to select a stitch pattern is to use the arrow keys. To select the desired stitch pattern, press the arrow keys. Altering stitch width and length. Stitch width and length are programmed and optimized for the selected pattern. However, you can adjust them to suit your specific sewing needs. To alter the stitch width, press the Stitch Width Adjusting key. For straight stitches, you can move the needle drop position by pressing the Stitch Width Adjusting key. To alter the stitch length, press the Stitch Length Adjusting key. Buttonholes. There are various styles of buttonholes available. You can choose the appropriate buttonhole for your garment. The machine will sew a properly sized buttonhole automatically in a single step. Place the button on the back of the automatic buttonhole foot and push the holder to hold the button. Buttonhole length is determined automatically. Attach the buttonhole foot. Draw the needle thread to the left through the hole of the foot. Place the fabric under the foot. Lower the needle and lower the presser foot. Pull down the buttonhole lever as far as it will go. Start sewing while pulling the needle thread gently to the left. After sewing several stitches, free the needle thread and continue sewing. The machine will stop automatically when the buttonhole is complete. Care and maintenance. Replacing the needle. Check the needle frequently to ensure that the tip is not bent or blunt. Replace the needle if it is bent or blunt. Turn off the machine and disconnect it from the power supply. Loosen the needle clamp screw with a screwdriver and remove the needle. Insert a new needle with the flat side facing backward. Push the needle up against the stopper and tighten the needle clamp screw securely with a screwdriver. Cleaning the machine. It is recommended to clean the hook area and automatic thread cutter device at least once a month. Turn off the machine and disconnect it from the power supply. Remove the needle and the presser foot holder. Slide the hook cover release button to the right and remove the hook cover. Take out the bobbin. Remove the set screws on the needle plate with a screwdriver. Remove the needle plate and take out the bobbin holder. Clean the bobbin holder with a lint brush and wipe it with a cloth. Clean the feed dog, thread cutter device, and hook race with a lint brush. Wipe the inside of the hook race with a cloth. Replace the bobbin holder in the hook race, making sure the knob fits next to the stopper of the hook race. Attach the needle plate. Tighten the screws securely with a screwdriver. Attach the needle and presser foot. Wipe the machine body using a soft cloth. Never use benzene or other chemical solvents for cleaning the machine body. Regular maintenance will ensure that your machine runs trouble-free.